Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Destination X Season 1 USA. It's episode 6. And that means we're joined by Kim.
Hi.
Kim!
Hello.
I'm Jonny Fairplay. That's Bobby Goodsby. And up until this episode, you were our winner pick based on the edit.
Isn't that the truth? I'm going to tell you, I couldn't want, I know, man. Look, I let something silly get in my head and I made a harsh, quick judgment to call it quits when I did. And yeah, I mean, I'm all about no regrets, but I definitely wish that I would have just pushed through a little bit and not, yeah. We'll talk about a verbal altercation with another castmate.
Okay, so what got in your head?
Another castmate, we had a verbal altercation a couple nights prior to the Munich stuff. And, you know, I mean, I try to be nice. I don't say hurtful. I try not to say really hurtful things to people. And I feel like I was attacked in a very hurtful way. And I let it get inside my head and I couldn't get over it. Like I sat on the bus thinking to myself, am I going to be able to look at this person for how many more days with keeping, you know, things inside me, or am I going to explode, or am I going to pull her hair out, or what am I going to, you know? And I just took the high road and I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's not worth it. I can't. But
well, real quick, Kim, why did you refer to Jeffrey Dean Morgan as her?
It wasn't Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh, sorry. Just wanted to clarify.
Dean Morgan. No.
So who's the beef with?
Yeah.
Janae.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what sparked that?
What sparked that? Hawaii is a territorial kind of place, I would say. And so I've lived here. I'm not from here, but I've lived here probably, I think, 45 years. And she apparently, I don't know, she apparently lived here for 11 or 12 years, I believe. And it's crazy because I'm so much older than her, and I'm a social worker. And first she was upset because I was talking to other people about the homeless situation in Hawaii and yada, yada, yada. And so she chimed in with her 2 cents, but it wasn't factual. And like I said, I'm a social worker. I counted the homeless before, yada, yada. I know, you know, like that's what I do for a living. And so she kind of got pissed at that. And then later that night, I guess I was talking to another castmate and I wasn't really talking shit. I was just, because one of the other castmates said, oh, how's that girl? And she was new to the bus. And everyone was trying to figure out. And the other castmate said to me, oh, how's that girl, man? She's so disrespectful. And I said, oh, I know, man. Like, that's so crazy. I said, you know, and I said, yeah, I don't know what she thinks she knows. She's only been in Hawaii. She only lived in Hawaii 11 years. And she hasn't been there for 3. And oh my God, she lost her lid. You think Ty's explosion was bad. This girl lost her lid, lost her lid. And she said very hurtful, derogatory about my looks, my face, my age. You know, she took it to that level instead of the facts, you know, or whatever we're talking about. And I was just like, I don't have time for that shit. Like, I didn't know her. I didn't know her from wherever she came from. Anyway, I never watched that show. But it was very, very, you know what? There's a couple things. One, that you don't diss a woman on. 1, her weight. 2, her wrinkles. And her age. Those 3, like, they're kind of, it's like a girl code that's off limit.
Sure.
And so she went straight for that, you know, and like, I don't know. I let it get to me.
I defer to Dog the Bounty Hunter for all of my factual Hawaii information. Is that?
There you go. That's a good. I love Dog.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
So I do watch Love Island, so I'm familiar with Janae from for the record, I was not the biggest Janae fan on Love Island.
Okay.
To each their own. You're
Yeah,
you're all allowed to love who you love.
that's
So,
right.
but I, I don't bring the hate.
Yeah.
She is very good at this stuff. And do you think the Hawaii conversations were part of her gameplay to throw you off of yours?
No.
Okay. It was just you guys were just and your close quarters. She's got her opinion, you got yours, and she's going all in and boom.
Yeah, it was a know-it-all kind of a situation. And it's like, okay.
Well, those young bucks do know everything,
Right? Those damn girls, I swear. I
They-
got kids that are like that. My own children are like that. So yeah.
Well, they've seen 2 TikTok videos to explain it, so they know.
That's right. Absolutely.
don't let life lessons get in the way of a good TikTok video.
That's right.
Kim, I want to ask you a little bit about your game. Why did you decide that you wanted to play this game solo and not team up with anybody? Did you think that was that worked for you at all, or do you think that it really hindered you?
No, it worked. Listen. Whether you want to call it she has trust issues or not, or I don't know how you want to label it. Who more to trust than yourself? Like, I don't want to blame anybody for me going home. I don't want to blame anybody if you've told me incorrect or if you're not sure. I lay it on myself. If I'm not sure, then that's on me. If I chose the wrong place, that's on me. I don't want to have to pin that on anybody. I don't want to be resentful or show hate towards anybody for giving me wrong information. Plus, I felt like I was pretty, which probably didn't show much. I mean, I'm pretty smart, and I've traveled, and I've taken a lot of geography and common sense. I rode with the common sense. Like at first, when I knew we were in Rome, or they told it was Rome. It was obvious that it was Rome. I'd been to Orvieto before, right? And Mac saw something that said Orvieto. I knew it. I knew we were in Rome. So I'm like, okay. And then I kind of went from there as like, are we only going to list major cities? Is that
yes?
That's what.
That's why I'm just like, how do you go out on Frankfurt versus Munich?
Yeah, I knew
you saw the Lederhosen.
I knew we were in Munich. I wanted to go. Like I said, I couldn't. Jeffrey said that to me in our conversation. He said, "You knew where the hell you were, didn't you?" And I said, "I sure did." He said, "I knew."
Oh,
it.
You just wanted to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out and start exploring Europe and not have to deal with, those feelings of, whatever tension on the bus.
Oh no. Well, that hurts her feelings.
Yeah, I know. Because as I'm watching, I'm like, man, I could have won this whole damn thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's definitely a divide. I felt it was you, Rick, and now Pilot Pete. Like, get that? It's just like, guys, like, this is Destination X for America, which by definition means Destination X for dummies. We're not going deep cuts.
Absolutely.
I feel like I don't think Shane has figured that out. I don't think that I think Mac has figured that out.
Yes.
But I also feel that Mac could trick herself into going, oh, but are they going to go a deep cut here?
Yes. They mind fuck themselves a little bit. No, yeah. Don't want to do that. It's so clear. Yeah. Seriously, if you talk about like Americans, I mean, in America, do you think they're going to know though? Burn, as big as Burn seems or is, right? Do you really think? No, it's Geneva. That's a duh. Those are.
Well, I mean, because I think part of the show is they want you to play at home,
right? Absolutely.
So as I said, they make this show overseas, like I guess Switzerland or what. They have a version of the show. They're going deep cuts because they can play along at home with deep cuts. America has trouble with the 50 states.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is so true. I mean, they have no clue. I mean, like and some of us, like me, I grew up with big, geography classes in as grade school. Now I don't think they do it so much. It was like
they don't even teach them cursive.
Requirement to learn all 50 states and all the capital cities. That was like a requirement. And now it's like, you ask the kids nowadays, they have no clue.
No.
They know the East Coast from the West Coast sometimes.
I have a 17-year-old and an 8-year-old. My 8-year-old, wherever we are in the city, she can tell you how to get home. My 17-year-old, who is getting her license in a couple weeks, if I dropped her off at the end of my street, she would never make it home. She'd be like, I guess this is where I live now.
They rely on electronics too much.
Yeah. So, she doesn't even rely on that. She's like, this is where I am living in a field. This is it. This is the rest of my years.
Yeah. But it's true.
But she'll have TikToks to keep her company.
That is right. The TikTok generation.
Kim, can you answer a question that we've had for a very long time about this show? Is the bus a double-decker bus or something? Because how is it that people can have conversations and no one else is like able to hear? It doesn't make sense to us, the layout of this bus.
Yeah, the conversations. The bus is. There's not much privacy.
Uh-huh.
Are there two buses or is it a double decker? Because the math doesn't math on sleeping quarters versus living quarters versus it appears walking upstairs sometimes, but the bus we see is a single decker bus. So is this a double decker bus or are there two buses?
I can't tell. I don't know.
Okay. I think we got our question answered, Bob.
No.
It's like it's traders. The castle is hotel rooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Wait, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that we did everything in one bus. We slept in one, walked in one bus. It was a double decker. I mean, we went up the stairs, obviously.
Okay. Well, it doesn't. I don't think it looks like a double decker when they show the bus, right, Bobby?
No, when they show it, it looks just like a normal like tour bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a tricked out bus for sure.
Okay. All right. So,
we're just curious because it was really eating at us because there'd be shots where we're like, how does this make sense? The layout, it does not make sense.
Yeah. It just seems like it's just like So as I said on Traders, like they did a really good job of keeping it a secret, and I think it was my podcast. Someone was it Rachel? Someone was just like. It's just like no. It's just like they pick us up at the hotel and then we wait and it was like the hotel. And she was like, I did not say hotel, and it was like I'm pretty sure you said hotel.
So it's not a castle.
Yeah. Well, no, they're in a castle, but they don't sleep in the castle. There's no rooms in the castle to sleep. It's just they have the downstairs where they all walk around and stuff. But when they go upstairs to their rooms, they go upstairs and then they stop filming and then they take them to a hotel.
Wow, that's crazy. Movie magic, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I love it. I mean, I don't want. I mean, just imagine the noise and like a castle's not going to be comfortable.
Right.
A hotel is going to be very comfortable.
No privacy on the bus either. That is true. I mean, you could hear conversations. They would have to, like, we were allowed to go outside, kind of, right? So they talked a little bit out. We were in a confined area.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of conversations would be like off camera because actually we weren't allowed to talk about any gameplay. So I don't know how they made it work. I didn't worry about conversations because obviously I was only laughing up, having those I was only having fun conversations, because I had planned to just be me and play my own game by myself. So I don't know how they did it. Maybe hook up. That's how they did it. They had to hook up. Look at Allie and Shane, right?
I know. Was the showman's troublesome?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, it is what you make of it. I feel. I mean, I had a blast with some of the characters for sure. Others I didn't.
If I see two people playing grab ass and holding hands and making out, like it's just like enough.
Yeah, that's why most of that probably happened when the lights were off.
Okay.
And we were sleeping.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
And Pilot Pete's over there farting.
Pilot Pete. I don't know. Did he fart?
Was it Pilot? We wanted confirmation. Was it Pilot Pete or Rick that was farting at night?
Oh, I would imagine it's Rick.
Rick is a champion farter in addition to
restaurant owner, FBI, bird watcher.
Yes, he's a Canadian FBI bird watcher, restaurateur. He has many occupations. He wears many hats.
I would agree. I mean, I don't know anything about the guy. I mean, he lied about everything, so I don't know, right?
I feel we learn a new occupation every episode.
It's crazy. That is so true.
Every episode, it's like
it is so true.
Yeah. Champion farter apparently is one of them.
Bullshit for sure.
He's a world-class bullshitter.
Yeah, for sure.
So amongst the secret powers that some people, you have the ability to drink tequila and take off your clothes. Pilot Pete has the ability to visualize where the sun is in any geographic location possible, and Rick has the uncanny bird watching abilities. What is the best superpower for Destination X? Taking off your clothes with a shot of tequila?
That's right.
All right.
that would be the funnest one.
I feel you could make an alliance with me with that.
Okay. Let's do it.
So as far as like your experience with the show, how did you find the show, and what made you want to go on this adventure?
I found it on TikTok. It came across my For You page with a private jet. It was a picture of a private jet, beautiful blue ocean, and maybe islands, I think. And I looked at it and I'm like, and it said, "Do you love to travel?" Right? And I'm like, absolutely. So I thought, oh, what better way? I mean, I don't have to pay for it. Are you kidding? I'm going to travel. I'm going to see maybe places that I haven't been to and not have to pay. Oh yeah, that's me. So I sent it in, and I don't know. I just kept going and going and going on the interviews, and then next thing you know, I was in Europe. So
yeah. I'd cast you. I thought you were a fun cast person. I mean, like you tick some boxes on some demos, and you're fun.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm real. I was real the whole time. Like, what you see is what you get. I mean. Yeah, I didn't conform to anybody. I mean, I had to behave sometimes. I would be told in the ear, "Mike, Kim, stop." You know?
Sure. I'd imagine you're even more fun at Coachella.
Oh, yeah. The conditions, the weather was the hardest thing for me because it was cold.
Okay.
That was my biggest, that was the hardest adjustment was the cold weather.
Well, Pilot Pete's horrible outfits show that it's called.
Is that, I don't know what they call it nowadays. Is that still called a yuppie? He dresses like a yuppie.
I just think he got a lot of free clothes after the Traders, and he felt like. So I did a senior trip when back when I was in high school, and it was my street law teacher and my Latin teacher. They took us every year. And my street law teacher, he was like, all the clothes he has from like the 70s and 80s, he would those are the clothes he would pack when they took the senior trip. And his wife would buy clothes in every city. And so every city, he'd have like bell bottoms and polka dots and all that. And so he'd wear an outfit and then he'd leave it in the hotel room. And he would use that room to fill with his wife's clothes. So we were going throughout Europe, and he's got the butterfly collars, and then he'd come home with the outfit on his back, and that was it.
That's great. That Pete definitely had some outfits. I mean,
I'd imagine he's like, hey, this is perfect. I can wear it once, and then I don't have to worry about carrying it to the next place.
That's interesting because when they came on, him and Jana, when they came on, they were the best. I'm sure outside of the bus they would be considered the best dressed, but when they came on the bus, I'm like, hey, like you won't be needing those Louis Vuitton shoes, and you don't need Christian Dior bag. I'm like, oh, where are you going with all that? Like, we're over here in sweatpants and slippers.
Yeah. All right, Kim, I know.
Shoes. And they came out with definitely the best dressed.
Kim, I know you got to get out of here. We appreciate your time. We wish you all the best and hope to see more of you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Kim. You're a lot of fun.
Okay. Thank you. You guys too.